rideshare drivers say alternate companies could step in if Uber, Lyft leave due to proposed Minneapolis ordinance. So Uber and Lyft drivers supporting a Minneapolis ordinance that would increase their pay say that they are prepared to ditch the apps should the rideshare companies decide to leave the city. In a press conference Tuesday, Ali, president of the Minnesota Uber Lyft Drivers Association, said his group has been talking to two other transportation network companies or rideshare companies about entering the Twin Cities market in the event that Uber and Lyft leave. So if they could enter the market, I don't understand why they wouldn't have already done so. Maybe it's because they're afraid of Uber and Lyft. I don't know. That's weird. Over 1,000 drivers who are ready had said the same day that they, Uber and Lyft, pull out, we have people who will cover that so we don't have any problem. This is a big boast. I'm skeptical of it because if it were already so, then this whole conversation that they're having wouldn't have had to be had. They would have just switched already. He also said that the other companies, which he declined to name, would be willing to make drivers stakeholders in the business. Uber and Lyft threatened on August 15th to pull or limit their services in Minneapolis if the city council approved a then pending ordinance to increase pay and workplace protections for their drivers. In an email to app users, Uber said it could be forced out of Minneapolis and asked users to email the mayor and council asking them to oppose the ordinance. Lyft said it would cease operation on January 1st, 2024. That's right around the corner. So in a couple of weeks. If the bill were to be passed, we would unfortunately have no choice but to greatly reduce service and possibly shut down operations entirely, said Uber's email. The council eventually passed that ordinance on August 17th. Afterwards, Uber said it would only offer premium services in Minneapolis once the ordinance went into effect, but the ordinance was vetoed by Mayor Jacob Frey before further action from the rideshare apps. So he's probably not well liked by this group. Tuesday's press conference also included council members Robin and Jason, who are advocating for a new ordinance that would increase pay for rideshare drivers. Council member Jamal is also part of the effort. Wansley has led the efforts to pass a policy that would increase driver wages in the city after a bill in the state legislature was vetoed by Governor Tim Walz in May, and after Frey vetoed the city council's first rideshare ordinance in August. After Tuesday's press conference, the Business Inspections Housing and Zoning Committee met and approved a motion to conduct a comparative analysis of 3 pay proposals for drivers. And I think this is fair, right? As much as I am for drivers getting paid more money, there needs to be data to back it, to justify it. And so I think that if they are pushing it down the road with the intention of doing like actual study before they make a decision, I think as a governor, that's what you should do. As much as it's counter to the whole rideshare thing, like I understand this. This analysis will be presented to the city council at a January 19th meeting. So obviously there won't be any change between now and then. Wansley, Chavez, and Osmond introduced the following 3 payment options for analysis. Model A, this is the original proposal, a minimum compensation rate of $1.40 per mile and 51 cents per minute for the time transporting a customer. That's high. I think that's higher than New York's. All right, I could be wrong. Let's see. NYC rideshare per mile. Ooh, no, their cost is $1.75 and per minute 75 cents. So okay, that would be good. Model B, the Mayor Frey's proposal, a minimum compensation rate of $1.17, a little lower than the one before, per mile and 34 cents per minute for transporting a customer. Model C, a flat rate of $24 per hour applied only during the time it takes to pick up a customer or during the time transporting a customer. This is lower than New York City's proposal. I don't see Model C happening. That would probably be the best outcome. I think Model B, if I had to like vote and pick one from these 3 options, assuming they don't get changed, I think Model B is probably what will happen. But Model A would be nice too. But Model C would be like the best for the drivers, but I don't see that happening. Wansley and Chavez said the goal is to get drivers a wage of $15 per hour. But so then why would you, I guess the assumption is for the time they spent not with a customer or picking one up, this would compensate that to $15 an hour. That doesn't make any sense to me. There's no reason any worker in our city or any business, small or large scale corporation, should be paying anything less to their workers who make our city thrive and help it function day by day. That's a good statement. Indianapolis has a $15.19 per hour minimum wage for businesses with more than 100 employees. Uber and Lyft drivers are considered contract workers and therefore don't have a minimum wage. The city's council initial rideshare ordinance passed in August would have guaranteed drivers a minimum compensation of 51 cents per mile and $1.40 per mile. While they were transporting customers within city boundaries, the compensation would have increased annually proportional to the city's wage. Okay, so we've got the gist of it. This is going to be an ongoing thing where we're going to get opinion pieces. We're going to get changes in thought processes, like different proposals. So as long as you're here with the podcast, I will be following this.